the girl, how you doing? Let's do another pick account today. It's gonna be you and them. It's super cold in London, super cold. And it's gonna get worse. Okay, let's have a look to pass you and them. That can be any kind of context. It doesn't have to be always about love. It could be anything. Where am I laughing? I don't even know. 1, 2, 1, 2. Part number 1, you and them. Wow, the sun. Page of Pentacles, the moon. Interesting. When you have the moon and the sun together, it's intense. It's a lot of ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. Okay, so you go from one extreme to the other, as you can imagine. Okay, so you could have great times. You can have a connection that is really the inner child connection, so very, very close. Lots of fun, a lot of connection in a sense of spiritual connection, emotional connection. You just feel at ease with each other. At the same time, you can, also trigger the very worst on each other as well. Why am I laughing? But it's also this idea of revealing feelings to yourself and to each other. But maybe there's a side of you that you didn't know, a darker side that is going to be triggered by that person and vice versa. By the end of the day, that light is going to be brought to the truth. Okay, so those emotions or that side of you need to be out in the open, so you are aware of it and you can deal with it. But there's an idea of opposition here, obviously, the day and the night. Okay, the light and the darkness. On the other hand, there's an idea of wanting to reset, to restart the connection, but planting seeds and trying to do things slightly differently, and maybe trying to find a middle ground, not being so extreme, not to be so much on a roller coaster. You want to see long term as well. Pentacle is all about longevity. So you want to plant seeds, start slowly, look after the garden, nurture the garden, make sure that it's piano, right? You don't grow a garden overnight. It has to take time, but at the same time, you have something that is congruent, consistent, and you can have a little bit of peace and quiet, okay? I think it's less up and down and more tranquil. So yeah, Ace of Cups, it could have been a love at first sight. It could be also an offer of work that is very juicy financially. So of course, it could have been a wow, the shock to the system to start with, okay? So that could be that sun energy, like wow, I don't know what to do with it. And then you have maybe an idea more tormented. Do I deserve to succeed? Do I deserve to be loved? Am I lovable? So a bit tormented, and that would be the darkness as we saw with the moon, right? But it's an idea of getting the context and the timing correct. Ace of Pentacles is when you both on the starting block at the same time. And maybe that's when you decide with the Page of Pentacles to restart, but this time properly. Maybe you have again that offer be represented to you a second time, a third time, whatever. But this time the timing is correct and you're more prepared, if I may say, to get on with it. Okay, so yeah, I think you had a limitation of the mind. You thought, I'm not good enough to go up there, so I'm staying here, but it's just my mind limiting myself. Okay, so as I say, the moon is gonna bring to light another side of your personality. You may be very driven, and suddenly you realize when you go close to the goal, you self-sabotage, for example, and now you're aware of this, and now you're going to be able to settle everything down. Okay, so that's great, absolutely great. So let's have a major arcana, you and them, part number 1, just to wrap it up. What do we have? Judgment. Yeah, absolutely. You purging, knowing the darkness, make it less, dramatic, and you can confront it, deal with it, and maybe fix whatever needs to be fixed. But you and them, you becoming much more balanced as a result. Nice. No need to go extreme. You can just go in the middle. Beautiful. So part number 2, you and them. The Empress, 9 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you and them, well, of course there's a 10 of Swords. It's a necessity to go through a 10 of Swords to get to the Ace of Swords, and knowing who you are, what you want, what you don't want. Is also a very good way to progress and to reveal yourself to yourself. You don't become an emperor or an empress having a cup of tea and a biscuit, as I like to say. And here we go, we have the Empress. So that is a result of 4 queens. That can be male, female, doesn't matter. But you're very tranquil. You are you know, that peaceful power, soft power, as we like to call it. You know who you are, you know your worth, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. You're also very patient. You just wait. Wait for people to level up or to go away. At the end of the day, you have no pressure on yourself, but you had to go through that 10 of swords. There may be the other person as well. You become a wish granted because you are elevating yourself. That person also had to become an emperor, and together you can have a conversation face to face. Is an idea of you are the wish granted for both of you. Okay, so for each other, I should say. So you are at the same level. You had to elevate yourself together, right? Yeah, a King of Pentacles is one step away from the Emperor. Is someone who wants to treat you with respect. It can also be a boss, someone who will pay you for your worth, who will respect you, who will look at you with, you know, a level of equality. It's not like employer. It's like we are the same team, we work together. Yeah, it's an idea of maybe having a new contract, signing a new contract. It could also be legal matters, it could be sorted. But also, you know, it could be that you have a certain level of development, self-development, and you learn a lot about yourself as a result. Of course, you're going to through a 10 of swords, you're going to be challenged. You're going to have to learn how to get out of that phase. Very difficult. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, you're receiving the fruit of your labor. So it's an idea of transformation. It's like all the hard work. Now that's it. Ace of Swords. I'm an emperor. I'm an empress. We getting the result. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, High Priestess. You knew actually that it was on its way in some ways. You just knew the end of the movies. You're just waiting for other people to get the memo. Some people are slower. It doesn't matter. No judgment. We are where we're supposed to be. But you had that knowing anyway. Yeah, so it's an idea maybe of missing the opportunity the first time around. Going through that 10 or so could have been as well a bit depressing, but now you have this opportunity presented again. Beautiful. So let's have a major arcana, you and then pile number 2. Let's have a look. What do we have here? The moon. Introspection, yeah. It's part of the process to learn about yourself, to learn about each other. It's a progression. It's a necessity to look with different approach yourself and the other person and vice versa. So all is well because you're always learning, and I love that. What else do you want to do in life? On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.